Almost 70,000 crore rupee disinvestment target will be missed, but the fiscal deficit is not under threat. The clarification was made by the finance minister in an exclusive conversation with me earlier this morning. Jaitley admitted the government has deferred stake sales in metal and oil companies for this financial year as both sectors are down in the dumps. He also tried to allay concerns of a cut in expenditure to meet the revenue shortfall. The government's revenue coffers are facing some serious bumps, but the finance minister says there's no cause for panic and no threat to the fiscal deficit target of 3.9%. The government is unlikely to go ahead with stake sales in metal companies this year for both strategic sales as well as partial stake sales, which could bring down actual disinvestment receipts to under 30,000 crores versus the target of almost 70,000 crore rupees. In addition, direct tax collections are expected to miss the target by an estimated 50,000 crore rupees. But the finance minister says this shortfall will be made up by rising indirect taxes.
I had therefore consciously this year kept a very modest fiscal deficit target. That is a movement from 4.1, it eventually became 4% to 3.9%. And I think the manner in which tax revenues and expenditure are moving, I don't see there is going to be any difficulty. You are right, as far as disinvestment is concerned, there are a few challenges, and the challenges are particularly because on account of the global prices, the metal stocks are not doing particularly well, and metal was a large part of the kitty that we had planned for this year. And therefore, I don't think it makes sense divesting at a time when the prices are low. The real test is of how the economy is doing is how much revenue from indirect taxation are you going to collect.
Also, senior finance ministry officials indicate there could be a fiscal cushion to the tune of 30,000 to 40,000 crore rupees this year, as many ministries may be unable to fully spend their budget allocations. While there is talk of the government being forced to clamp down on expenditure, we hear it may reinstate a ceiling of 30% on spends by individual ministries. This will do away with the need for an actual cut in expenditure to meet any revenue shortfall.
I don't think this year we'll have to cut down expenditure of either state governments or public expenditure or the central ministries. As it is, we are moving ahead of our targets as far as indirect taxations are concerned.
Tax officials also indicate the estimated 50,000 crore rupees shortfall in direct taxes is overstated as of now. The actual gap could be lower by 50%, narrowing down the shortfall to roughly 25,000 crore rupees. However, it's also early days to do the fiscal math, with the third quarter yet to end. Probably the next official indication on the government's fiscal story would be available at the time of the release of the mid-term review, which will be tabled in Parliament during the winter session. In New Delhi with Sapna Das, this is Shereen Bhan.